आपतामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसम्पदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहम् आर्तानामर्तिहन्तारं भीतानां भीतिनाशनं द्विषतां कालदण्डं तं रामचन्द्रं नमाम्यहम् सन्नद्धकवची खड्गी चापबाणधरो युवा गच्छन्ममाग्रतो नित्यं रामः पातु स लक्ष्मणः अमत्कोदण्डहस्ताय सन्धीकृतशराय च खण्डिताखिल दैत्याय रामाय पन्निवारिणे रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पदये नमः मङ्गलं कौसलेन्द्राय महनीय गुणाब्दये चक्रवर्ती तनुजाय सार्वभौमाय मंगलम। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो भैया सब संतन की जय, सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। ओके, we are in chapter 18 of Sundarakand. Sita has been seen by Hanumanji without any doubt that he knows that this is Sita, not because he has seen her before, but because he had been instructed very well by Sri Rama. I was just thinking about this the other day. In Vedanta, we have many pramanas. Pratyaksha pramana, Anumana pramana, Arthapatti pramana, Shabda pramana. In the way, Anupalabdhi pramana and many other such things are there. Best is for all of us, which we use all the time, is Pratyaksha pramana. Pratyaksham janati. Pratyakshaihi janati, akshena janati. When directly when you see, there is no doubt. If I see you today and tomorrow when I see you, I have no doubt about that it is you. If I have never seen you, but you are told, I was told that you have these characteristics, and based upon that, I assume that it must be you. This is called Anumana Pramana, inferential. And then by knowing the characteristics, coming to know, like that of smoke is there, then there must be fire. When on the mountain I see smoke, then I can assume there must be fire. If I go out of the building and find everything is wet, then I can assume that there must have rained. This is called Anumana Pramana. अनुमान कौन है? अनुमान से ज्ञान मिलता है उसका अनुमान है। सब अनुमान से। वो रावण को नहीं देखा, सीता को नहीं देखा पहले, not seen, but how does he know this is Sita and this is Ravana? अनुमान से, so उसका नाम है अनुमान. So what a guru teaches, out of his own personal experience only the rishis have taught us. Through the scriptures we learn from the rishis, from Atmas. It's called Aptavakya. Vedas are what? So not Aptavakya. Aptavakya means those who have obtained have spoken about it. Iti sushrama purvesham Etat vyajachakshire. In Upanishad, this is what we were told. We heard it. And based upon the Shruti Vakya, one comes to recognize what is truth. Nobody can give Pratyaksha Jnanam or Pratyaksha Anubhavam directly to anyone. Even if if Bhagavan has to stand in front of me, for example, how do I know this is Bhagavan? So what I've heard, what I know of him, based upon that knowledge only, I look for the characteristics. Bhagavan kaun hai? उसके पास ज्ञान है, धर्म है, वैराग्य है, श्री श्रेय है. All those 6 different qualities. Bhaga yasyasti iti, Bhagavan. So, similarly, Hanumanji Anumanena Janati Janaki iti. Suddenly woke up with the thought, Hanuman को क्यों ऐसा नाम है? So Hanuman से मिला है उसको. So by knowledge gained alone, the experience of the truth is possible. So he had gained this understanding that this must be Sita. But even as he does that, he didn't want to declare that to her. Now again, he will use Hanuman only, Hanumana Praman only to introduce himself also. Just watch that. He will not directly jump into the conclusion, jump into scare her. So now now he is watching what is going, because he didn't want, it's all still night only, so he's waiting. तथा
विप्रेक्षमाणस्य
वनं पुष्पितपादपम् विचिन्वतश्च वैदेहीम् किञ्चिच्छेषा निशाभवत्
षडङ्गवेदविदुषाम् क्रतुप्रवरयाजिनाम्
श्राव ब्रह्मघोषान् सह
शुश्राव ब्रह्मघोषान् सह
विरात्रे ब्रह्मरक्षसाम् अथ मङ्गलवादित्रैः शब्दैः
श्रोत्रमनोहरैः
प्राबोध्यत महाबाहुः दशग्रीवो महाबलः विबुध्यतु महाभागो राक्षसेन्द्र प्रतापवान् स्रस्तमाल्याम्बरधरः वैदेहीम् अन्वचिन्तयत् भृशं नियुक्तस्तस्यां च मदनेन मदोत्कटः न तु तं राक्षसकामम् शशाकात्मनि गूहितुम् ससर्वाभरणैर्युक्तः बिभ्रच्छ्रियम् अनुत्तमाम् तां नगैर्विविधैर्जुष्टाम्
सर्वपुष्पफलोपगैः
वृतां पुष्करणीभिश्च
वृतां पुष्करणीभिश्च
नानापुष्पोपशोभिताम्
नानापुष्पोपशोभिताम्
सदा मत्तैश्च विहगैः
सदा मत्तैश्च विहगैः
विचित्रां परमाद्भुतैः
विचित्रां परमाद्भुतैः
ईहामृगैश्च विविधैः
ईहामृगैश्च विविधैः
वृतां दृष्टिमनोहरैः
वृतां दृष्टिमनोहरैः
भीतिः भीतिः सम्प्रेक्ष्यमाणश्च
वीथि सम्प्रेक्षमाणश्च
मणिकाञ्चनतोरणाम्
मणिकाञ्चनतोरणाम्
नानामृगगणाकीर्णाम्
नानामृगगणाकीर्णाम्
फलैः प्रप्रथितैर्वृताम्
फलैः प्रपतितैर्वृताम्
अशोकवनिकामेव
अशोकवनिकामेव
प्राविशत् सततोद्रुमाम्
प्राविशत्
सन्ततद्रुमाम्
सन्ततद्रुमाम्
वनं विप्रेक्षमाणस्य विचिन्वतः वैदेहीं विचिन्ततः तथा while he was watching that very forest, pushpitapadapam vanam, filled with so many different flowers, pushpadapa trees, trees filled with flowers, vanam pushpitapadam, viprekshamanasya, while he was watching that carefully, vaidehim vichinvatascha, also looking and thinking about Vaidehi, Kinchit Shresha Nisha Abhavat. Little more night was left. Kinchit Shresha, remaining Nisha, the Ratri Abhavat. At that time, suddenly he heard Vedic chanting. See, Ravana not only conquered the heaven, etc., he conquered all the Brahmanas also. Brought them imprisoned, brought them into his place that every day morning you have to chant Vedic chanting. Make it auspicious. Many of these, big rich people, they make sure that all priests come every day morning and do some chanting, as they even would not even wake up. But the chanting will go on. So, but in the palace of a king, it's a regular, routine that, like in a temple, the priests will start early morning. Suprabhadam, Venkateshwar Suprabhadam, morning they will start. Nowadays, that's all there. They put the, what do you call that? They put the YouTube or something like that. So then that will chant. Not Brahmanas will be still sleeping. That will chant. In some of the places you might have seen in the temple, in the temple at least. Yeah, more when the arati goes on, the various kind of vadyams, the melam and then other things are all to be the blowing of the conch and all those things. Now they have made a mechanical one. It's very interesting. You put it on dun 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 dun, it starts on its own. All the things are mechanized, automated. At least they're not putting YouTube, it is the mechanized ones. So here, he really Shadanga Veda Vidusham Kridu Pravara Yajinam Shadanga Veda Vidusha. Vidusha means experts in Shadangas. Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chandas, Jyotisham. These are called Shadangas. 6 limbs of Vedas. Shiksha, meaning the method of pronunciation. Kalpa, how to arrange the altar for the Vedic rituals. Kalpa, the skill. Vyakarana is grammar. Sanskrit grammar, Nirukta, etymology, Chandas, prosody, Jyotisha, astrology. These are necessary even to open the first page of Vedas. If you know how to pronounce, without the correct pronunciation, the mantras will have no effect. Then the altar has to be properly created for the ritual. How many bricks have to be put, in what direction has to be put, all that. Then Vyakarna, without grammar, you will not be able to decipher correctly because compounds will be so tightly knit in the Vedic mantras. You should know how to dissect them properly. Otherwise, you will be doing wrong pronunciation and wrong meaning will come to you. Then Nirukta. When you do not understand, see, usually when we do the Anvaya and when we do the Padacheda of a Sanskrit, composition or any Vedic mantra, when you do the Padacheda, meaning making sure that each word is separated out, if you have a doubt, you have to go to Nirukta. Because contextually what this means need to be understood, then only you can properly do that. So Nirukta, etymology. So Shiksha, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chandas. Chandas is what is the meter? Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chandas. Then any ritual need to be done at the right time. Correctly invoking the particular deity who is in position. And that is why it is important that Vedic rituals need to be chanted, done, and mantras to be chanted only when that particular deity is present. Present in the sense, present at the place where you're doing. So they look at the astrology chart and determine the correct date and at what time this deity can be invoked. So Jyotisham. So Shadanga Veda Vidusham Kratu Pravara, those who are expert in Kratu rituals, Yajinam, and also their performers of these various of the rituals. They are not just merely theoretically know, but they are also performers. Yajinam, Yagyam Kurvanti. Shushrava, Brahma Goshan Shushrava Saha. He heard them all chanting at the last part of the Ratri. Viratre Brahma Rakshasam Vedagoshan Shushrava. So they are part of the Rakshasa Vamsha now, because the Brahmins were brought and they mixed with the Rakshasas. Now they become Brahma Rakshasas. So they are all chanting there. At that time, Ata Mangala Vaditraihi Shabdaihi Shotra Manoharaihi, by those very auspicious utterances and sound and which are very delightful to the ears, Mahabahu Prabodhyata, Prakarshena Abodhyata. It just woke up the Mahabahu, the mighty armed, who? Dashagrivaha, Mahabalaha. He woke up from his great slumber. They all woke him up. Vibudhya, having woken up to Mahabagaha. Such a Mahabagaha here to be mean extremely prosperous. Bhaga is not Bhagya. Bhaga is one who is fortunate, no doubt, but he is prosperous to be understood in this context. Rakshasa Indriha Pratapavan, very well known, Pratapa, and he is a Rakshasa Indraha. Srasta Malyambaradaraha, Mala, that is garlands and various other ornaments that we are wearing, or the clothes, Ambara, are all srasta, are all disheveled or moved away, meaning they are not in place. Vaidehim Anvachintayat, his first thing thought of, the first day, first in the morning, he thought of Sita. is so passionate. He went to sleep with the thought of her and woke up with her. Even though he had so many of them around him, all over his place, but his mind was only on Savaidehi. Tasyam madanena madotkataha. Madotkataha means one who is so intoxicated. Tasyam madanena, also being maddened, delusioned by her thought. Brisham niyuktaha, overcome abundantly, extremely. Rakshasaha tam kamam, the thought, the desire that he had in his mind, Atmani guhitum na shashaka. In his own mind, he is unable to hide it. He was not able to hide. Guhitum na shashaka. Atmani guhitum na shashaka. Saha sarva abharana irukyahuktaha. He, the one who had all various ornaments upon him, Bibrat Shriyam Anuttamam, wearing the most brilliant, most precious things on his body. Tam Ashokavanikam eva pravishati is to be understood. See, Tam is there, and the last verse, 9th verse at the bottom, Ashokavanikam pravishat. He entered the Ashokavanika, and what is this Ashokavanika is described in all other verses. So, Tam, what kind of Ashokavanika it is? Nagaihi vividaihi jushtam, by various kind of trees. Nagaihi vividaihi jushtam, sarva pushpa falopagaihi nagaihi. One which has lot of many different kinds of flowers, that those kind of trees are filling that particular forest, Ashokavana. Pushkaranibhischa vrutam, filled with various kind of ponds, nana pushpa upashobitam, and various kinds of flowers all over, and sada mattaicha vigaihi vichitram pushmadbhutaihi paramadbhutaihi vihagaihi vichitram mattaischa vividaihi, various kinds of intoxicated as though birds, which are very wonderful to look at. They're all there. Probably he went all over the world, picked up the best of the breeds and brought it there. That's what, many of the people who are too rich, they will go to different places and bring different kinds of cars, different kinds of ornament, different kinds of apparels, even the birds and animals. Like we have zoos, in the city nowadays. So those times the kings used to have all this for their pleasure. Whenever I go to a zoo, I just wonder, why do they have to capture these free animals? For whose purpose? So that every day I can see them. So for you to see, they have to be captured and kept. How much pain you are giving to them? Zoo में रख के, you zoom करको, you will zoom into them. Why do they have to be captured and kept? Poor thing, they are free by themselves. But no, my pleasure. So this way he had brought all kinds of birds to his backyard. Iha mrgaischa. Iha mrga is wolf. It looked like a deer to look at, but he may not be. So it's a false deer, artificial deer also is another meaning, but wolves. Vividaihi vrutam drishti manoharaihi. By even looking at it, they are most beautiful. Vitihi, the very row of them, of what? Samprekshamanaha, while watching all this, Manikanchana Toranam, the very path that it's leading, and also the archways are there, which are filled with precious stones. Nana Mriga Gana Kirnam, spread with a lot of various animals. Falaihi Prapipaditaihi Vrutam, the very path itself, the Viti itself, which is leading to that Ashoka Vanika, Ashoka, and that had various kinds of fruits that are already fallen on the ground. Ashovaniyamaiva pravishat. Santadadrumam, rows of trees were there on the way, on the path, and that very forest he entered. So this is a description of the forest. Angana shadamatram tu
Angana shatamatram tu
ambrajantam anuvrajan
tam vrajantam anuvrajan
mahendramiva paulasyam
Mahendramiva Paulastyam
devagandharvayoshitah
Devagandharvayoshitah
deepika kanchani kasyit
Deepika Kanchani Kashchit
jagrastatra yoshitah
Jagruhustatra Yoshitah
palavyajanahastascha
Valavya Janahastascha
alavrantani chaparaha
Talavrintani Chaparaha
kanjanaishchaiva bringaraihi
Kanchanaishchaiva Bhringaraihi
jahnuhu salila magradaha
Jahluhu Salilamagratah
mandalagra brusha sorry
Bris Bris
mandalagra brisishchaiva brisish
Mandalagra Brisishchaiva
grihyanta prushtato yayuhu
Grikyanya
grihyanya prushtato yayuhu
Grihyanya Prishthato Yayuhu
kachit ratnamayim patrim
Kachit Ratnamayim Patrim
purnam panasya bhajatim
Purnam Panasya Bhrajatim
dakshinenaiva
Dakshina Dakshinenaiva
tada jagraha panina
Tada Jagraha Panina
rajahamsa pratikasham
Rajahamsa Pratikasham
chatram purna shashibramam
Chatram Purna Shashi Prabham
sauvarna dandamapara
Sauvarna Dandamapara
grihitva prushtato yayau.
Grihitva Prishthatau Yayau.
These kind of description are necessary in a literature. What kind of a description? You see, while he was walking into the forest, and only 100 women were walking with him. 100 women. Shatamatram manganaha, women of the best of the shape. Tutam vrajantam, as he was walking, anumvrajan, while they were following him. And therefore he was looking like a Mahendra, Indra, who had so many such women walking along with him. Who? He is none other than Paulastyam, Pulastha Maharishi's grandson, Pulastya. So, and Devagandharva Yoshitaha, and he the one who is followed by Devagandharvas, Devagandharva Yoshita, the women of the celestial nature, they all were there. Kanchani Deepikaha Kaschit, Someone is holding on to a golden lamp. Jagruhu tatra hoshitaha. So they are going with him with golden lamps. Vala vyajana hastascha. Some of them are having vala vyajana. Vala is the fur leaf, other that tail you can say, of the what do you call that? Yaks. You will find in Tibet's area, etc. Those fur is very beautiful, very soft. So they are having the fans made out of the fur of the yaks. Talavrintani chaparaha, and some of them carrying their talavrinda. So that they again the fans made of the palm leaves. And Kanchaneschaiva bringaraihi, with the gold vessels which are gold, water pots. Salilam jakruhu means they were carrying in the front, some of them, water pots which are gold in color. And then mandalagra brisischai. Brisi means there, it's kind of a cushion which he had to use while sitting down, probably, which is mandala. Mandala means round. Mandalagra brisischaiva. Grihya anyaha prishtato yayuhu. Some of them walked behind him with those things in his hand. Kachit ratnamayim patrim purnam panasya prajatim. One who was carrying a golden vessel again filled with wine. Purnam pana here must to be understood. Like when Ramanavami is panakam they make. It's not that kind of panakam. This is different. In Tamil, even in English also, if you say, I just drank, if you say, which one, where you are saying this? If you are near a well and you say, I drank, obviously it's water. But if you are next to the bar and you say, I drank, then they would not say that it's water. So drinking is the same. Panaka. What panakam it is that? Obviously, he is not drinking some water there. So, dakshina dakshinena eva. And another one, dakshina. Dakshina means one who is a very lovely one. Dakshinena eva panina, with her right hand, she was carrying this kind of a drinking wine, wine vessel. And Chatram Rajahamsa Pratikasham. And there was one who was carrying a huge umbrella, which is equal to that of, by the very color or the brightness, like a royal swan. Rajahamsa Pratikaksham Chatram Purna Shashi Prabham. It is looking like a full moon by circle. Circular one, which is like a full moon. Sauvarna Dandam Apara. Another one is carrying a stick which is gold, because the king's carrying that, the stick which is not walking stick, but it is a kind of a thing which shows the authority. Grihitva Prishtato Yayaho. See, why I said that these are all necessary? Because, see, the literature must describe everything. So when you go to a place where Ramayana is depicted as a painting or in the form of a sculpture, the entire reflection of these kind of things will be seen. So if Ravana is there, described there or sculpted there, you will find all these retinues are also, from where they know. Obviously, he has recorded it here. So when you see such kind of pictures or paintings or sculptures, you will know that Valmiki has already done the preliminary job of all this. If a person is a scriptwriter of a movie, you cannot just say, and the hero came and started talking. No, What are all the things that were there in the whole area? Nowadays they use picturization. They paint it. The artist will sit and actually draw every scene. What is there? Where is what? Table is here, chair is here, picture is there, and there's a clock here, and there's a sofa with this color, and this is the floor, this is a curtain, this is the lighting, this is where the shade, this is where the sun is, this is where the window, everything, because it has to be first picturized in the mind. Then they bring the entire material to the place, the studio, wherever it is. If it is studio created or if it is outside, then obviously, then there also they have to find out which direction the person is watching, where the light is coming from, what shadow it will bring. Because if you look at any movie carefully, a lot of effort is done in making sure that nothing is dark, nothing is shaded, nothing is unseen. Everything has to be, I mean, those descriptions are possible today by automation or also animation, etc. But in the past, when a literature is written, like Valmiki, who's considered as Adi Kavi, he showed the way how to describe a situation. He's a master. Before that, nobody has done this. So he had very carefully had described how a literature has to be written. So he gave so many details. That is the reason you find that. And further he says, Nidramadaparitакshayah
निद्रामदपरीताक्ष्यः
Ravanasyottamasriyah
रावणस्योत्तमस्त्रियः
Anujagmuhu patim veeram
अनुजग्मुः पतिं वीरम्
Ganam vidyullata iva
घनं विद्युल्लता इव
Vyaviddhaharakeyuraha
व्याविद्धहारकेयूराः
Samam mritida kavarnakaha
समामृदितवर्णकाः
Samagalita
समागलितकेशान्ताः
Sastredavadanastata
सस्वेदवदनास्तथा
Sveda, right? Sveda. Okay. Sveda. Okay. Durnantyo Sheshana
घु
Gurnantyo. Okay. Gurnantyo Madasheshena
घूर्णन्त्यो मदशेषेण
Nidraya cha Shubhananaha
निद्रया च शुभाननाः
Vedaklishtanga Kusumaha
स्वेदक्लिष्टाङ्गकुसुमाः
Samalya Kulamurdajaha
समाल्याकुलमूर्धजाः
Prayantam Naidridipatim Nairidi
प्रया
Nairida, right? Okay. Prayantam Nairida Patim
प्रयान्तं नैहृतपतिम्
Naryo Madiralochanaha
नार्यो मदिरलोचनाः
Bahumanascha Kamascha
बहुमानाश्च कामाश्च
Priya Bharyastamanvayuhu
प्रियभार्यास्तमन्वयुः
Sachakama Paradinaha
स च कामपराधीनः
Padistasam Mahabalaha
पतिस्तासां महाबलाः
Balaha is written there. Mahabalaha only. Okay. Sita Saktamana Mandaha
सीतासक्तमना मन्दः
Mandanchita Gadir Babau.
मन्दाञ्चितगतिर्बभौ
And because all of them just came out of the chamber of sleep, the sleeping chamber, Nidra Mada Parita Iksha. The eyes were shot red by the sleep as well as intoxication. Nidra mada pariikshya. And Ravanasya Uttama, the best of the queens of Ravana there, Anujagmuhu Patim Viram. They've just followed him, hundreds of them, as it is said before. They followed him, the mighty warrior, like what? Ganam Vidyullata Iva, like that of the lightning following the Ganam. So the very clouds, they continuously follow that. And here, very beautiful, interesting, comparison there. And further that here, Vyavidda Harakeyuraha, disheveled Hara, the garlands and Keyura armlets, and then Mrudita Varnakaha. Mrudita means washed away. Mrud is to wash. So Samamritita Vashita, when their own, possibly the makeup and all they have put on their body, on their faces are all kind of washed away because they have just got up. Because he got up and started walking, then everybody has to just do that. They cannot go, wait, I'm coming. No, not allowed. You just walk out along with him. And Sveda Klishtanga Kusumaha. And then because of the sweat which they had during the night, Klishta, afflicted, Anga Kusumaha, the body and the flowers, and Samalya Kula Murdajaha, and their locks on their head, as well as the various ornaments that they were wearing, garlands, all of them are also because of the sweat. Sasveda Vadanaha, with sweating body also. Gurnyantaha. Gurma means going around. Gurma. Gurna, Gurnati. Gurnyantaha, going around. Mada Sheshena Nidriya. And the head was going like this because of going around. Inability to stand steady, their head was reeling, yes, but they were walking still. Gurnyantaha madasheshena, the intoxication that is left still there. Nidraya, also because of the sleep. The Subhananaha, Sveda Klishtak, Anga Kusumaha, we have seen. Samal, along with the garlands that they were wearing and their own matter, the locks that were of the head, everything are because of the going around, they were all disheveled there. Prayantam Nairitipatim. So Nairida is considered as one of the lords of the direction. As you know, 8 different deities are there governing each direction. South, north, east, west, southeast, northeast, southwest, northwest. So Nairidi is considered one of them, who is considered as Riddhi means, prosperity, but he can create calamity also. Nairidapati, obviously here it means one who can cause trouble. He is the lord of that. Prayantam Nairidapatim Naryaha Madilalochanaha. The eyes were shot, completely shot red by the drinks or the intoxication that they had. Bahumanascha kamascha priya bharyaha tam anvayuhu. And because of their love for him, priya bharyaha, they are most beloved wives of Ravana, tam anvayuhu, tam Ravanam anvayuhu, they were following him. Saha, that is Ravana, Mahabalaha, mighty armed, mighty powerful, Patihi, tasam patihi, their own husband, he is kama paradinah, but at the same time, he is intoxicated by the elaborate, extreme passion that he had. Sita sakta manaha. He the one who had Sita asakta manaha, manas manaha. He pradama viveka manaha, chandramaha, chandramas, chandrama, like that. Sita Sakta Manaha. He the one whose mind is attached to Sita. Mandaha is going slow. Mandanchita Gatir Yayo. He was going slowly, walking. So he that way Mandanchita Gatir Babao. So he was walking slowly towards the place where Sita was sitting there. And then, since he was sitting on a tree, he was watching all this that Ravana started coming in. And at the same time, he was able to see where Sita is sitting there. So now he describes about the way Sita is sitting there. Tada kanchi ninadam cha
ततः काञ्चीनिनादं च
nupuranam cha nisvanam
नू नूपुराणां च निस्वनम्
sushrava paramastrinam
शुश्राव परमस्त्रीणाम्
abhimarutanandanaha
कपिर्मारुतनन्दनः
tam cha pradima karma tam cha apradima karmanam
तं च अप्रतिमकर्माणम्
achintya bala paurusham
अचिन्त्यबलपौरुषम्
varadesamanupraptam
द्वारदेशमनुप्राप्तम्
tadarsha hanuman kapihi
ददर्श हनुमान् कपिः
दीपिकाभिर अनेकाभिः
दीपिकाभिरनेकाभिः
समन्ताद् समन्ताद् अवभासितम्
समन्ताद् अवभासितम्
गन्धतैलावसिक्ताभिः
गन्धतैलावसिक्ताभिः
क्रियमाणाभिरग्रतः
ह्रियमाणाभिरग्रतः
कामदर्पमदैर्युक्तम्
कामदर्पमदैर्युक्तम्
जिह्मताम्रायते क्षणम्
जिह्वताम्रायते क्षणम्
and samaksham iva kandarpam
समक्षमिव कन्दर्पम्
apaviddasharasanam
अपविद्धशरासनम्
matitamritafenabam
मथितामृतफेनाभम्
arajo vastramuttamam
अरजो वस्त्रमुत्तमम्
sapushpam avakarnashantam
सपुष्पम् अवकर्षन्तम्
vimuktam saktamangate.
विमुक्तं सक्तमङ्गदे.
See, this description is so elaborate, as I said, so pointed, meaning he didn't want to leave any detail there. Even still, now he's explaining only Ravana, and he was seeing or hearing this sound first. Sound comes before the sight, because sound is heard. So tataha kanchi ninadam. So they heard the kanchi, the ornaments, the sound of the ornaments, nupuranam, of the anklets, niswanam, the sound that are tinkling sound that are happening, because all those various women, they were coming there with him, and his own body had many ornaments, all the sounds of them. Paramastrinam, of the women, Shushrava, he heard Kapihi, Marutanandana, the son of. So somebody asked me yesterday, day before, what is the meaning Nandana means? So in the literal meaning of Nandana means one who delights. Raghunandana. When he says one who is the delight of the Raghu Vamsha, Dasharatha Nandana. So Dasharatha Nandana, when you say, it is one who is the delight of Devaki Nandana. Devaki Nandana, Dasharatha Nandana, Nandanandana, Nanda Gopal ki Nandan hoga. Now in this context, Nandana means one who delights. But when you say Janaki Nandana, that means one who delights Janaki also. But in literature, Nandan can be used in place of Putra. So Devaki Putra is Devaki Nandan. Dasharatha Nandan, that is Dasharatha Putra. When we say Janaki Nandan, then what will happen then? So then we have to take the meaning of delighting. Okay. So we have to understand that Nandan, one meaning, literal meaning is delight, but contextually, sometimes they put it as in the place of son. That's why Maruta Nandan. So Maruti son, Maruta Nandan. So at the same time, he cannot be delight of Maruta because he never lived with him. Never. So Vayu Putra, all right. But he did not live with this wind god any time. So his delight in this context we should understand as only son, Marutanandan. Tam cha apradima karmanam achintya bala uttamam balorusham bala paurusham. So he the one who is he? Ravana, one who has conquered so many. So apradima, uncomparable amount of his actions and as well as his achintya bala paurusham, extraordinary might he had. Dwaradesham anupraptam, and he has entered the very opening, the door or the entry point. Anuman kabihi dadarsha. And he was because it's just twilight, just day night has just gone. The early morning, not much of light is also there, but it is still little amount of darkness left. Therefore, Deepikabihi Anekabihi Samantat Avabhasitam. He the one who is illumined by various kinds of lights which are carried by the women who were coming with him. And in this very, see the amount of description he goes in like that. Even those lamps that we are carrying, how their lamps are. Gandha, Taila, Asikta, Taila, Vasikta, Tailau, Gandha Tailau, Asikta, Asiktabihi. Gandha Tailau, Asiktabihi, Driyamana Bihi Agradaha. See, those lights were sustained by most flavored or most smelling oils. Gandha tailau asikta bihi driyamana being maintained, being sustained. So those kind of lamps that were being carried, and from the light of those lamps are illuminating Ravana. Kamadarpa Madir Yuktam, he the one who's, Kamadarpa Madaihi, intoxicated by the passion, Jihma Tamra Ayata Ikshanam. So Jihma again, passionate Tamra Ayata, like that of the copper leaves. The eyes are looking like the copper leaves not because of the intoxication, but very passion that he had for Sita. Samaksham iva Gandharpam, Gandharpa Samaksham is equal to that of the Gandharpa, that is Kamdev. That is the very, god of love. Apavidda Sharasanam, but he did not have the the quiver of arrows that Kandarpa carries. So he did not have that, obviously. Then Maditamrita Fenabham. Yeah. So Fenabham. So when you are so his color of the clothes that he was wearing is so bright. Araja Vastram. Raja means dust. Araja, completely clean. No Raja at all. Vastra Uttamam, best of the clothes, and they are looking like what? Another description here. Matitamrita Fenabham. Abham equal to or comparable to Madita Amrita Fena. The Fena means foam. The foam, color of the foam when milk is churned. Here Amrita to be understood as milk. So churned milk, when they're churning the milk, how the foam comes out, how bright white. That kind of a color was the cloth of Ravana, whose clothes were not at all even a single dust. Araja Vastram Uttamam. So Sapushpa Avakashantam, Sapushpam. See, he came out of the bed, right? So there were a lot of flowers that were, the petals were there on the bed. So those flowers are still there, and he was dragging those flowers with the cloth. Sapushpa Avakarshantam Vimuktam Saktam Angadehe. Angadehe Vimuktam. And also the armlets were, it was stuck with the armlets also. So he was taking that along with that, and then his armlets were also entangled in that. So it is to say that the description is that he was not properly wearing it. He was wearing it all right, but they were not in proper place. It is stuck, the armlets as well. This is the kind of description. So when for the later posterity, when they want to describe the Ravana coming out to meet Sita, this depiction of the body, the clothes and everything, and if you see it, you know, oh, this is what Valmiki says there. You can compare that. Okay, compare the notes. This is exactly what he said. So those people, if you think about it, those sculptures and those people who have done the painting of the past in these temples, etc., they might have read through these things without which they cannot do exactly what it is. See, those were also people of that knowledge. And when they were doing the things, they have to follow exactly how it is being described here. Aganita Gunagana Bhushana Rama
Asita Vassala Jaya Jaya Rama Ayodhyavasi Sita Rama Apadbhandava Jaya Jaya Rama Dasharatha Nandana Sri Rama Dashamukhamardana Jaya Jaya Rama Kausalya Sutavardhana Rama Kamita Phalada Jaya Jaya Rama Papa Vimochana Sri Rama Pattabhirama Jaya Jaya Rama Janaki Jeevana Sita Rama Jaya Raghurama Jaya Siya Rama Vanara Sevita Sri Rama Varithi Vandana Jaya Jaya Rama Hanumat Pujita Sita Rama Sri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Raghupati Raghava Raja Rama Patita Pavana Sita Rama Sri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Sri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Siyavara Ramachandra ki jai Pavana Sutta Hanuman ki jai Umapati Mahadeva ki jai Bolo Bhai Sab Santan ki jai Sargurnath Maharaj ki jai